Hey, Rebel Bankers, this is your host, Chris Naugle, and welcome to the show. I'm here with Les Brown Jr. and Levan Woods. So I've got an amazing show for you today. We're going to do something we've never done before. We're going to talk about the obstacles that all of these gentlemen have overcome to get to the success that they're at now, but we're going to talk about some really unique things. And in all of you getting started on your journey to becoming a Rebel Banker, all of you have to start somewhere. And I always suggest starting with grabbing a copy of my book, The Private Money Guide. Also, follow us on Facebook and all of our channels, including my website, chrisnaugle.com. So I want to jump right into this because you don't need to hear me talk. I want to hear about these gentlemen's stories. So let's just jump right in. So Les Brown Jr. is the Prince of Possibility, the CEO of the LesBrownJr.com, and also he is an unbelievable motivational speaker. I've known his father, but his father, although he's an unbelievable speaker, Les Brown Jr. holds something extra special. And when I heard him speak on stage, I was incredibly motivated. So Les Brown Jr., just tell him a little bit about, where you're at right now in your business, what you're doing, and then we're going to jump into just a little bit about the journey.
Well, thank you so much. I'm a fan of your show. We have such an entertainment-driven culture that it's nice to be able to get some tools to create generational wealth, okay? As you know, most wealth is gone by the second generation, over 70%. And by the third generation, 90% of wealth is gone. And so the thing that is important for us to realize today is that community is the new currency, okay? Community is the new currency. And so I bought some VIP 7-figure earners from my tribe with me today because I'm at the point right now where I'm all about building community, not customers. I'm all about creating value, not products. I'm all about, right now, if you see, I've got a camera on my thing here. Right now, you call it a camera, but 10 years from now, kids will call this a doorstop, okay? I'm doing this from my cell phone, which makes this camera totally inconvenient. And we don't want people whose life used to be a beautiful, expensive camera to turn into a doorstop because they're not prepared of what's to come. And so right now, I'm implementing the vision that I had 15 years ago today. And I'm prepared and refining my vision for next year that I had 14 years ago. You've got to be ahead of the curve just to make it today. There are 3 types of people: those that are ahead of the curve, those that are parked, and those that get ran over.
No one wants to get run over. So that's an important thing to know. Let's not get run over.
Riyadh, my brother Riyadh came here. I'm going to share his story later. Riyadh gets hungry every day. The other day I slept in. I don't usually sleep in. It was about my first time sleeping in about 6 years. He said, my brother, what? You so rich in America you can sleep? It's the wealthiest country in the world. You can sleep till 10 a.m., my brother. Oh my goodness. I need to do what you're doing. You know what? I said, I ain't never doing that again. He made me feel bad, but that the drool was still on my lip. And the thing is that I am the voice that will get the drool off of your lip. I am the person that will inspire you to wake up. You've heard of makeup artists. I'm here in sunny California. You're looking at the view from my home. And when you think about LA, most people, they think of Hollywood, they think of stars, and there would be no stars without makeup artists, okay? Makeup artists. Makeup artists make the stars look better. They make the stars look cute, right? But I brought with me some wake-up artists, okay? Riyadh is a wake-up artist. Mr. Levan Wood is a wake-up artist, okay? So when you look at and listen to their stories, I want you to realize that community is the new currency. And the reason why I can tell you exactly how to better your best this year and beyond is because I learned something at a very early age. I learned something. And my brother, Dr. Farah Gray, said it best. He became a millionaire at 14. He said, nowadays, if you don't have a seat at the table, let me say this so they can hear me. Nowadays, if you don't have a seat at the table, you end up on the menu. you end up on the menu.
I
So
love that.
To the wake up artists. See, these are my wake up artists here. They're going to wake people up from the difficulties of understanding their own personal value. They're going to wake people up. They don't have to feel guilty about their success. The more successful they are, the more people they can help. They're going to wake people up so that they're not comfortable, because comfort is a sure sign that your that your progress will stop, as Helen Keller said. So I'm interested in asking my wake up artists to share their story and so that we can all share one defining principles on how to create generational wealth. And we appreciate the opportunity. And we will start off each phrase letting you know the philosophy that we abide by is it's your it's your time. It's your time. That's the philosophy. That's the mantra. That's what you got to say. Get ready right now. If you're tuning in, call somebody, slap somebody, tell them to listen, because this is a special show and we are just getting started.
That's right. The time is now. So we got some wake up artists on here. So who's next? Who's going to talk about their journey, their story?
Sure, I'll jump in.
Yeah, let's hear it. Yeah, tell us your story,
Hey, Chris.
the obstacles, some of the things you went through. I mean, anything you want to say, just let's help this audience know a little bit about what makes you a wake up artist, what makes you the perfect person to talk about money, generational legacy, generational wealth, and what were some of your, along your journey, what were some of your struggles? I know Riyadh's, I can't wait to hear that, but what were some of your struggles and journeys as it pertains to money? Because I know a lot of people that want to get into, whether it be real estate or anything else, they always stop because of money. They stop because they think that because they don't have the resources, they can't do it. And they don't realize it's not about their actual resources. It's about how resourceful they can be. And I know all of you are resourceful because you're the wake up artist. So let's hear about it.
All right. Well, no, thank you. And exactly right. It is your time. So we got to start that out. It is your time, everybody. And wake up artist here, Levan Wood. And I also want to say, I want to be your hope man. You get the dope man. No, I want to be the hope man for everybody here. So starting out, you said it, resources, and a lot of people quit because of resources. Well, I can tell you, I started with 0 resources, and quickly running through the last 5 years, I got into real estate in 2015. Well, I decided to get into real estate in 2015 because I was working as a chef and life was good, but life was rough. I didn't have any free time, and I thought I got to do something different. And it just popped into my head, get into real estate one day. So in 2015, I went and got my real estate license, had no idea what I was doing, just knew I wanted to do something different. 2016, I get licensed. I struggle for a year. I don't do much. 2017 comes, and in January, I say, all right, this is what I'm doing full time, nothing else. So I jump in full time January, and I just commit. I have no money, literally no money. Grew up relatively lower middle class, so it was like starting from scratch. And in January of 17, I said, I'm going to make this work. I went into the office every day, 8 a.m. at least, stayed till 8 p.m., just all day worked. I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew I had to work. So I went in, worked. In that year, I sold 42 houses, maybe 43. And I said, oh my gosh, if I can do this, anybody can do this. And then I kept track of the phone calls I made, the houses I showed, the listing appointments. I just tracked my whole business from phone calls to closing. And I knew after 1 year, if I close 42 houses, this is what I did to do it. I want to do 100. What do I got to do? 2018 comes along. I am so off on my years. 2007, not 2006, 2007, not 16, I mean. So we're looking back 12 years. So 2007 comes, that's when I do the 42. 2008 comes, and that's when I make the commitment to do 100. I sell 94 houses that year, just going to the office, following a plan, making phone calls, following my metrics. Next year I do the same, I sell 100 houses. So now we go into 2010, I get my broker's license, and my broker throws me out the door. Literally throws me out the door because now I'm competition. And in my mind, we're on the same team. I'm just going off to play another game. And they said, no, your competition, get out the door. So 2010, I'm out the door. I got to start a company. I started a small brokerage called ECO Realty. And I grow that in 25 realtors by 2014. 2014, life's good. I'm really bored though, because it's just moving along, right? I've got the system, I'm making money, but life is boring. I want to grow. So that's when I decide I want to team up with a franchise. So I teamed up with Remax, bought 2 franchises. I opened one in the end of 14, opened the next one mid-15. During that same time, I got my mortgage broker's license. Learned how to integrate mortgage brokerage business into real estate business so that it works. And we took that, and now I have 2 successful mortgage offices on top of my 3 Remax, which feed the mortgage company. Then I also got an opportunity in 2017 to buy interest in a title company. Bought the title company, took that over, and I've just been growing and piecing things together over the last 5 years. And what Leslie said hits it on the head. It's been community. I haven't been building customers. I've been building community of clients, with realtors, with loan officers, with the community. It's never been about the money. It's never been about being the biggest business. It's been about helping people and building this community. And what am I doing today? I'm talking on a podcast with all these great people because of the community and the giving back. That's my short story.
That's absolutely correct. I mean, and another thing I'll add is your network always equals your net worth. So just like you were talking about your community, it's kind of the same thing. You developed and you built this community, which has gotten you this far, and it's not self-serving. That's I think the biggest thing I take away from some stories like what yours is you're not self-serving. You're not doing this just for yourself. You're building this for your community, which is extra powerful. And that's why you're successful and going to continue to be successful. Before I move on to Riyadh, give me one thing during this journey, and it's a 5-year journey, which is absolutely incredible because 5 years in retrospect, none of what we do is a sprint. Everything we do is a marathon, and it's not something that's going to happen right away, but you were able to take, your life from where it was 5 years ago and completely transform it to where it is today. The one thing I want to know is during that 5 years, what was your biggest obstacle to get where you are now? Was it an internal obstacle, an external obstacle? What was the one thing that you can look back and say, that was the biggest thing I struggled with?
Absolutely. It was the internal struggle of believing I could do it. And once I started doing it, believing I deserved it. Because coming from the humble beginnings, I'm not saying I was bad, but extremely humble and starting from nothing. And then being on top of this as it grows, thinking, do I deserve this? How did I do this? Can I continue this? How do I continue this? It's the mental struggle. It's not hard getting up every day and going to work. It's not hard getting up every day and helping people. That's great. We all love that. It's after the fact. It's at home at night when I'm like, oh, can I really do this? Do these people, do I give value to them? Am I doing what's right? That's where the big struggle was and is still, is making sure I'm doing what's right, feeling good about it, and deserving it. Feeling deserving the growth, the success, and I see that too in people with me, that they don't feel deserving. So I see that as a big struggle with my people too.
That's an incredible story. All right. But that also is why you're a wake up artist, and why we're doing this and talking about this is because you woke up, and now it's time for you to help your community wake up and get some people to take some action, follow their dreams, and stop thinking that money is their biggest obstacle, because really money's all around us, right? Mm-hmm. Money is everywhere. You just need to know how to find it and how to go get it. And one of the beautiful things I love about this podcast is this is that podcast where, just like tonight or today, the wake up artists are able to tell their stories to help other people wake up and spread that journey and spread that message so that everybody can go out there and chase their dreams and not have to deal with what they're always worried about: money, time and money.
Right. Yeah.
All
and
right.
That brings up a good point too, as you just said, it's out there. But the second part I'll add is the patience was the other struggle. Having the patience to find the resources, to connect with the right people, and to run it out long term, run the marathon, not the sprint, but having the patience to grow.
I love that. I think that's spoken by somebody with not just experience, but somebody that absolutely knows, because you've walked the walk. So Riyadh, I've heard your story, and I don't even know where to start with this story. If we all think we grew up with like lower middle class, my wife says I grew up poor. Your story redefines that. Literally tell everybody, like, where you started and where you're at today, because this is honestly, to me, one of the most incredible transformational journeys I've ever heard about.
Thank you so much. And I grew up in North Africa, and we're 5 kids, and I'm the youngest one. And I go home. I said, "Mommy, I'm home. What we have for dinner tonight?" And Mom, she's in the kitchen. She's crying, and she told me we don't have food for tonight. And I hold her hand, and we go sit down on the floor and said, "Mommy, it's okay. We don't have food for tonight, but I have you, Mommy." And she's crying. And I love play soccer, and I never have tennis shoes. I play barefoot. And I remember I go home, said, "Mommy, I win the game, Mommy. I'm excited about winning the game." And my mom said, "Why your feet is bloody?" I said, "Mommy, pain is the name of the game. You have to get hurt to win." In the winter is very cold. We don't have heater in the winter. And me and my mommy, we find pieces of wood, and we make small fire, very small fire. And we sit down on the floor, and I'm looking the fire, and my mommy talking to me about her struggle, and I'm looking the fire. And my mom said, "Why are you looking the fire?" I said, "Mom, I don't want the fire to end, because the fire end, my mommy going to be cold." And I decided to be the fire for my mom. I remember one day my friend Shawab said, "Do you want to go to America?" I said, "What? America?" I said, "I don't have no money. We don't eat in the night." And said, "You have to come up with $1,400. If you come up with $1,400, you can go to America." And said, "Go knock doors." And I started knocking doors for the neighbors. Said, "Oh, can I clean your bathroom?" And people give me 10 cents, 5 cents, 2 cents. I see a woman walking the street with her bag. I run and help her with her bag. You know what I mean? And it took me 1 year to collect $1,400, 1 year. And I came to America in 2000. I came here with 60 people in 2000. And the last day, everybody took the bus, going to the airport, going home. And I told everybody I'm staying. And people said, "You're staying? You're going to die today. You have only $2. I have only $2 in my pocket. And the only word I know in English is job." I said, No, you're going to die today. Don't do it. You have to go home with us. I told everyone I'm dying every day in my country. And I decide I want to today, not tomorrow, today. I'm going to make my mom proud, or I'm going to die today, not tomorrow. And when everybody left, took the bus, go to the airport, and I get scared. I get very scared. So, oh my God, what happened? I'm by myself now. But guess what? I'm by myself in America, my friend. I'm in America. I'm in America, my friend. And I remember I started walking. I say, "Job." I said, "No." I go to the store, I said, "Job, no, job, no, job." I get rejected. Always people ask me, "Why you keep knocking the doors?" Remember, everyone, it's not how many doors you knock, it's who's behind the door. Mm-hmm. It's not how many doors you knock, it's who's behind the door and change your life. Donc in my mind said, I'm looking for the person behind the door and change my life. I'm not looking for how many doors. Someone behind the door is going to change my life. Someone there. And this one I focus about, who's behind the door and change my life. And they kept going. And finally, the owner from the restaurant is from Morocco. He speaks the same language. I told him, "Job." He said, "No, I cannot have you here. I cannot." I said, "This is the restaurant. I don't speak English." I said, "Please give me place for tonight. I don't have a place to sleep tonight. I can sleep on the floor." I told him I came here for my mom. My mom crying every day, and I'm here for my mom. And he said, "No." I said, "Please, I want a place for tonight, just tonight. Just tonight." And I cleaned the bathroom, I cleaned the floor, just tonight. He said, okay. Go clean the floor and clean the bathroom, and sleep in the floor in the night. I get so excited. I went and started cleaning the bathroom. I cleaned the floor very good because I know I'm going to sleep in the floor. I just cleaned the floor very good. So I'm going to sleep in the floor. And a lot of people always tell me, "You're crazy. You slept in the floor." Yes, I slept in the floor, but I slept in America floor. When I saw it is America floor. This is not a regular floor. This is America floor. And I remember I'm sleeping there, and I said, one day I have my own pillow. One day I have my own cover. One day I have my own mattress. One day I have a room with 6 people. After I have a room with 1 people, like I'm enjoy about sleeping. I'm enjoy about finding a place to sleep. I said, one day I have a pillow. And next day, I get up and I start cleaning the bathroom, the floor, the same thing. And I saw the owner walk and toward me, and they said, "Oh, he's going to let me go today." And before he said anything, I told him, look, I know you're going to let me go today. Thank you so much for letting me sleep last night. If I can clean your car and clean your shoes before I go. And he looked me in my eyes and said, what? Said, let me clean your car and clean your shoes today before I go. And he said, why are you doing this? He said, my mom crying every day. And I want to make sure my mom don't cry no more. And remember, he gave me a hug and said, don't worry, you can stay another day. And I got excited. Said, yeah, sure. Said, yeah, you can stay another day. I got very excited, very excited. I have another day. Always I think about the moment. I don't think about tomorrow. I'm just think about the moment. How can I make this moment better? So, oh my God, I'm having another day here. I can sleep another day on the floor. I'm excited. I have another day. And this is what I did. I worked there for 9 months, and I always loved be personal trainer. After I did personal trainer, and I did very well. After I opened I remember when I opened my first business, my first juice bars, and people said, you're crazy. You open a juice bar? You're not going to make it. 2 blocks away, Jamba Juice, you have Jamba Juice 2 blocks away. And I told everyone, Jamba Juice do not have Riyadh. Jamba Juice do not have Riyadh. Do not have Riyadh. And I opened the second one, third one, fourth one. I kept going. And I told everyone, remember when people tell me, you're crazy, stay in America? People tell me, you're crazy, slept on the floor. People tell me, you're crazy, open a juice bar. Remember, everyone, if people do not tell you you're crazy, then your dream is not big enough.
Steve Jobs, and I got to say this one thing. So many people know Steve Jobs. They know he changed the world. And that's what he said in his one speech he gave. The crazy ones are the ones that are crazy enough to change the world. I just had to throw that in there. Yeah,
exactly. You're absolutely right. Like if people do not tell you you're crazy, then your dream is not big enough. A lot of people tell me, oh my God, you're amazing. You're extraordinary. I'm not extraordinary. I'm just ordinary guy with extraordinary dreams. I'm just ordinary guy with my mom crying every day. Somebody have to do something, and happened to be me. Someone have to do something. And this was driven me. Said I want to make sure my mom don't cry no more. And the one thing I want to tell everybody here, my success. Other people when approach me said you're very successful. No, my success started 18 years ago when I say yes for the floor, not today. My success started 2000 when I told the guy I'm willing to sit on the floor. I'm willing to don't take shower. I'm willing to don't eat all day. My success started 18 years ago. A lot of people think my success started today or anybody's success. It started a long time ago when I say yes for the floor. Yes, don't take shower. Yes, eating bread all day. This one when I say yes for everything. So the one thing I tell everybody, like I'm not here for my glory. I'm here for my story. When you have a story, you have a glory. And that's everyone have a story. Yeah. When you have a story, you have a glory. Look, everyone have a story. And always people ask me, what's your secrets for success? It's a 7 steps. First, you have to have a dream. You have to have a dream first. After you have to have a dream. After you have to believe it. I have a dream. I want to build my mom's house. I have a dream. I want to make sure my mom takes shower. After you have to believe it. I believe it because I saw my mom crying every day. After when you believe it, you have to share it. And the reason you share your dream to hold yourself accountable. I tell everybody, if you want to get in shape, tell everybody, I'm going to get in shape in 30 days. Tell everyone. But first you have to have a dream. After you have to believe it. After you have to share it. And when you share it, you have to plan it. You have to plan your dream. And when you plan it, what you do, you have to go to work. The job description for work is hard work, not sit down on the couch. The job description for work is hard work. After when you go to work, you want to achieve your dream and do it again. I don't know, people say, what's kept you going? Is legacy. Train for legacy, don't train for life. You don't come to this world and leave and nobody know your name. Why you show up from the beginning?
Good point.
We can replace you with a chair or table. Why show up from the beginning? When you're born poor is not your problem. I mean, when you die poor is problem.
Bill Gates.
I born unhappy. I born seeing my mom crying. I born the kids make fun of me for my family, for my dad, everything. We're poor, we don't have nothing. I born with this. We said, you know what? I need to do something. I'm going to change it because we all have 24 hours. So instead watching the news, let's make the news.
That's incredible.
Exactly.
I could hear that story over and over again because it is the epitome and the basis of if you dream it and you believe it, you can achieve it. That is unbelievable.
Riyadh, my brother Riyadh,
Yeah.
can you please move your car out of my way, man? It's too big, man. It's not enough room in the street for your car. Can you move it, man? You came to
There
my
you
house,
go.
I tried
Big
to show him
dreams,
my
big
house.
car.
I went to his house. You could fit 3 of my houses in his house. That's why he's my best friend. Okay? I'm sorry. This is the street I'm showing you. Because nowadays, you have to have street smarts in the boardroom. That's the step I want you all to remember. You have to have street smarts in the boardroom, okay? Riyadh came here without a major Ivy League education, without support. It took him a year to raise what many of us spend on a decent bottle of wine. And now he's creating generational wealth. His children are gymnasts. They go to the best schools. He's walking every morning, working on his mind. I get in the car, he's listening to positive audios. We strategize and put a plan together. We had a mastermind at the beginning of the year. And my life is not the same, not because I sold him anything. And we've made 6 figures together already, and it's not even been 6 months in the year yet.
4 months in, and yeah, that's phenomenal.
4 months into the relationship, okay? And so here's the key right here. Relationship capital is the new filthy rich, okay? Relationship capital is the new filthy rich. I live in LA now, but I was born in Detroit, and in Detroit, it's all about, you know, who you know. But in LA, unlike anywhere else in the world, it's all about who wants to know you, okay? And what I've created is a process that goes beyond the physical, tangible aspect of money and focuses on the source of generational wealth. And the source of generational wealth is not Benjamin Franklin or Abraham Lincoln or George Washington, but it's the values that those men held that allowed their faces to be placed on money still to this day, all right? And soon to come Harriet Tubman. So when we think about the future and think about building with one of the 2 pillars of wealth, entrepreneurship and real estate, why isn't technology there? Because it's a big risk. The competition is very overcrowded and everything is a gamble. A lot of people that invested in technology companies, they lost everything in the .com bubble. They never got everything back. There was only one Facebook. There was only one Amazon. If you weren't an early adapter, then you needed to go out there and find out how to get something tangible, some real wealth, something that you could pass down to your kid. And it's better to pass down a kid a franchise of homes that allow people to live in a place where they can rest their head and have peace of mind and build their dreams and create their future and live what Riyadh was thinking about when he was overseas and created when he came to America, because many people don't realize, and here's the biggest mistake people make, people don't realize that the American lifestyle in many places of the world is still illegal. There's still parts of the world where you cannot own property. There's still parts of the world where you cannot get a loan. There's still parts of the world where it's illegal to get an education about it. So we need to stop taking for granted our citizenship, our global citizenship, and start to realize that we are citizens because we're not here alone. If you're an egotistical, what's the word? If you're an egotistical, narcissistic, money-hungry person, you can get rich, but you'll never create generational wealth. It takes values to pass on from generation to generation to generation, and you can't do it by yourself. You have to build a team like Mr. Woods, like Mr. Hamdi, and they are influencers in their fields, and I appreciate them, and I appreciate the opportunity to highlight what they're doing and the impact that they're making, because we work hard to make wealth, okay? And after you've made your first million or your first 10 million or 100 million Okay, I'm real money. Riaz always said, I don't want to make money. I want to make real money. Let's talk about the real money. Let's talk about the real money. I say a low price point. I have a coaching program that I launched for $100 a month. And Riaz said he almost ran in the bathroom and kicked me out of his mansion. He said, oh no, my brother. You see? Because he's focused on real money. And when you are an agent, you're an agent for families. You're giving people real money, which is not their cash or their funds sitting in the bank, not actually accumulating any wealth. It's actually the property, the bricks and stone. Okay, we went from brick and mortar to click and order. But if you still have some brick and mortar, then you can click and order a lot more. Ain't that right?
That
Mr.
is
Wood,
absolutely
ain't that
right.
right?
And Les Brown Jr., I heard you from stage say this, and I might get it wrong, so I'm going to have you say it much more powerful, but passion is nothing without purpose. You got to have passion, but you got to have passion with a purpose. So how did you say that from stage? Because you do it much better.
Well, to me, that's what I would consider Mickey Mouse. So I appreciate you acknowledging that. I don't remember talking about purpose and passion because I have a different take. Let's talk about passion for a second, okay? People confuse passion with excitement. Right? People think passion is activity, but really passion is controlled resolve. Okay? Passion is not enthusiasm. Okay? But you can be enthusiastic about your passion. Right? Now, I would rather connect passion with enthusiasm because enthusiasm can lead you to the type of endurance it'll take to actually take the time and take a picture of all your receipts to track your spending, to monitor your miles and your gas so you get all the right tax breaks, to make sure that you measure all the systems like Mr. Wood did before he had one Remax franchise, to do the research and find out what was the best company to partner with, to find out, go door to door to door until he could find somebody that could speak the language of job. If you could speak the language of job, then I will help you. If you could speak the language of job, then I will sleep on your floor. If you will sleep the language of job, then I will sacrifice to send my last dime to make sure that my mother doesn't have to shed another tear, because it's not illegal to be great in this society. And so I understand the idea of real money, but you don't get real money without real values. And the real values that you have, the real values that you model, the real values that you strive for, that creates the momentum that equals generational wealth.
I love that. And Riyadh, I don't know if you remember, when I saw you last, I gave you a shirt, and that shirt was so close to my heart in my story, in my journey. And when I heard you speak about your mom, you were even more deserving of that shirt. Do you remember that shirt and what it says?
Yeah, I remember you giving me shirts. Sorry, I forgot. Yeah, I remember you giving me shirts in the table.
Mama's boy, screw rebellion. I love my mom. So make sure you wear that shirt with pride, because I'll be honest, like that part of your story it resonates with me, and I'm sure it resonates with a lot of people that are going to watch this podcast. So wear that with pride, because that's your story, buddy, and that's incredible.
Incredible. Now that's Riyadh's car. Y'all saw Riyadh's car out here. Let me show you. I got a 5-year-old son. This is what it's about. Don't judge me, okay? But he got a Maserati though. Okay?
Nice. Look at that thing.
I tell you, I bought a lot of things, mostly blue suits and red ties. But my most proud moment was buying my son Honor a Maserati and letting him know that it was not from Santa. It was from Dada, okay? And we're going to match that picture with the picture that he has as soon as he gets his permit, because he's already building a speaking empire. And that's what I've done. That's how I built my wealth. All I had was 3 tools, 2 lips and a tongue. And you know what? It was a trigger called a brain, and I had to read all the time. I had to study while kids were playing. I had to miss out. I won homecoming king, but I couldn't go to the parade because I had to speak in Stockholm, and I was feeling sorry for myself. Wah, 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 wah. Here's something to remember for your audience to take home with you, okay? And I'll be writing a blog about it at my site, lesbrownjr.com. And to find out more, there's actually a text message number that we can share with people later if you're willing, so that they can
Absolutely.
Get an ebook that I'm doing with my dad that I'm excited about, and many other different authors. And the thing is that this is an incredible time that we are in. And if you just take the moment and realize that your time is now, okay? Your time is now. Can I ask you a question, sir? I'm gonna ask
away.
everybody this question. Could you imagine living your whole life without ever knowing the feeling of owning your own home? I'm gonna ask that. That's a round robin. So everybody comment on that, about how your life would be different if you didn't own your own home.
Riyadh, why don't you start that one off?
Wow. Yeah, it's always my dream to build my mom home. And it's not about, I don't see a home as a four wall. I see a home as I'm feeling safe. I'm feeling connected with my family. I tell everybody, like, it's not about I'm having home. It's who you're connecting with inside the house. And when I grew up, I don't have anything. Man, I have my mommy next to me, and we sleep on the floor. When I'm on the floor, I said, "This is my home." Like the floor, I felt my mom. And when I came here, I said, "I want to make sure my mom have home. I want to make sure my mom should walk in the house and she don't worry too much." And I'm blessed. I'm blessed to get opportunity to make my mom don't cry no more. I'm very blessed to make sure my mom don't cry no more, and she have home, she have food. I'm blessed.
All right. I'll go next on the home. So growing up, I grew up in a small home, but it was always a place that I was able to go where I felt safe. So as I've gotten older, and now I have a family, and I'm sure I have no children yet, but as I do start taking that next step in my journey, that is what the home is going to be. It's going to be that safe place, that place of comfort for my family, not for me. I'm always on the road. I'm always traveling. The home is a place where I come when I want to be with the people I love, when I want to feel comfort, and when I want to surround myself in an environment that helps me understand that this is what I'm working for. This is what I've worked for, but it's not for me. It's for my family. It's for my family's comfort. And it's for my family that soon I will have, the children that I'll have someday. Maybe I can buy them the Maserati toy or the Maserati car. That would be quite the thing for me to work toward. But that's what a home is to me. Did we lose everybody?
Nope,
Mr. Woods,
here.
Mr.
There you
Woods,
are.
you're
No,
up.
I'm here,
Mr. Woods, you're up.
I think
Sorry about
everybody's
that. Yeah,
breath
no,
is just
that's
taken
a good
away,
question.
man. Wow.
Because that's not something that any of us probably think about on a regular basis. And I can't imagine what it would be like. I bought my first house when I was 26, and modest house, 2-bedroom, 1,000 square feet, beginner home. But oh my gosh, I can't even believe how good I felt when I bought it, because I never even dreamt of buying a house, right? It's like, what? I'm growing up and we're getting by, and it's like, no, there's no way I'm gonna buy a house. And now that I have it, it's like I know what it's like, and I want everybody to feel that. And it's true, a house is where your home is where you're at, a home is where you make it. But that feeling of helping people get into a home that they can call theirs and take pride in it and know it's there for their future generations. And that's an amazing feeling that I can't even imagine not having. So everybody should have that feeling. If I can help them do that, heck yeah. And then that moves on to just this week, something that really made me realize how, blessed I am too, is last week I was able to have my mom retire a little bit early, move into that first home. Now she's living for free, retired in this nice little home where she can spend the rest of her years. And it's right down the road from my new home. So now my home's kind of expanding in a way where it's not just the house. It's becoming the little community that we live in. And that's now the home. The house is kind of where we reside, and we have our family functions, and we rest, and we bond and have fun. But now I'm seeing home more as a community, and even expanding it out to the community of the good friends and family that are involved with us.
That was great. I love that. So with that, is there anything else anyone wants to add to that question about the home? So the biggest thing here.
I'm sorry. I want to say something too. I want
Yes.
to add something else. Like when I grew up, I don't have anything, and like we don't have almost nothing. And a lot of people always say, "I wish I have $2 million home. I wish I'm facing the beach. I wish all this." I have the $2 million home. I live in $2 million home. I have this. It's not how much costs your home. It's not how big are your home. It's how big are your heart.
I love that.
Because you can be in 1,200 square foot and you're so happy. You can be in 5,000 square foot and you're not happy. Happiness don't measure by how many square foot you have. Happiness measure is who's inside your home, the loved one get together. Don't focus about the number, because don't focus about the money. The money is just number, never end. Don't focus how many square foot your house have. Focus how many life you change. Focus about bringing people together in the same place. I go home and because all the loved one is there waiting for me. My daughter, my wife, don't focus too much how many square foot your house or how big your house is, how big your heart. If you try to focus about how you're bigger your heart, you're gonna get a bigger home. You're going to get a bigger home. If you focus about a bigger home, you're going to lose everything. Just focus how you can share your heart. And when you do this, because for me, I'm the same person, slept on the floor, having $2, owning businesses. I'm always the same person. I'm always me, Riyad. I always appreciate every moment. I appreciate the struggle. I appreciate everything went through. And I love it. I love the pain. I love the way I grew up. We don't have anything. May I get to hug my mom every day on the floor. And the floor is my home in my country. I will sleep on the floor and hug her. This is my home. And I love it. So find the pieces, find the place you feel at home. And you reach your goal. Yeah.
That was beautiful. That was the best way you could answer that question ever.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you.
Les Brown Jr., you got anything you want to say on that one? Oh, we can't hear you.
I just want to
go.
acknowledge the brilliance and the genius that's on this call. And now everyone can see why I had to pull an audible and say, it's your time, Academy Wake Up Artists, to step up. Because this is all about people who've made the decision to get in the arena, okay? I mean, you have to be a mental gladiator to be successful in the real estate arena, a $1 trillion industry. And many people get taken advantage of. Many people end up losing. And many people that have made it have lost sight of what their why was. And they're lonely despite their square footage. You know, one of the thoughts that I had earlier was about my friend who just went to Disneyland with her husband and children and went back through TSA, and I guess she had some apple juice, so TSA was searching her. So despite that, she went to Disneyland and hung out with Mickey Mouse and is married and has children, is going back to her home. She was complaining about the apple juice. And now I gotta ask you, are you complaining about apple juice distractions? Okay? Are you complaining about apple juice distractions? We got some apple juice distractions where people lose sight of their why. They lose sight of why they work so hard to create that wealth, and they lose their why, so they lose their winning power. And I remember living in Potomac, Maryland, in a 6-bedroom mansion with several fireplaces, but my mom was in Inglewood, California, in a 1-bedroom with a bedroom in the living room, not even a couch. And I left and I snuck out to go live with her because I didn't want my mom to struggle. And I went and I started speaking and paying bills at the early age of 14. And when my son was born, I picked out my dream home before his head popped out. Before I cut the umbilical cord, I picked out my dream home, even though I never bought a home, even though I didn't know what my credit looked at. I picked it out because I wanted him to grow up like the house I grew up in Potomac. And I'm so happy that I get a chance to teach my son how to swim in his own pool. I would dive in right now, but I don't think this iPhone is waterproof. And what I want to say is I'm going to give you one tip, and we're going to test this out with your team, with your staff, to the brokers and agents around the world. I'm Mr. Wood. I want to start off with you. You're here first, so you get this before this goes live to the following globally. Tell all of your sales agents and tell all of your team members to go for 90 days. Okay, I'll do a 90-day academy. It's your time academy. And if you just change this one thing in 90 days, see if it impacts it. Don't call it a home or a house. Call it a family shelter. A family shelter. I sell family shelters. This is about families. This is about, like you said, feeling safe. This is not about the physical matter. But let me tell you something. When you live in a beautiful home, oh my greatness. When you get a beautiful home before anybody else does, oh my greatness. When you pass up on a home that you really like, thinking that there was something else better out there for you, and then you miss it, oh my greatness. I picked out a home in Rancho Santa Fe, in the exact home that I picked out in Rancho Santa Fe, in Orange County, closer to where my son lives, because I had what Napoleon Hill calls definiteness of purpose, okay? Definiteness of purpose. So change the language, okay? It's a family shelter. That's what you sell. How valuable is that? If families don't have you, then they don't have safety. If families don't have you, then they don't have family. So that's what you do. You provide family shelters for those who can afford to live in luxury and abundance.
Abundance. All right. Well, we're getting to the end here. So I want to thank every one of you for our wake up crew here, our wake up artists, and what they've said and how they've got to where they are, and just unbelievable genius on this podcast today. So I know our audience is going to walk away with so many golden nuggets and takeaways, and just a different look at exactly how the journey can look for everybody. Because if you think you've got it bad, and you think your story started with humble beginnings, Riyad's story is one that started with humble beginnings, but it began with a dream, and he never gave up on that. And I think that's incredibly powerful. So with that being said, if any of our audience wants to find any of our wake up artists here, how would they go about finding any of you online, and what are the best way they can reach out to you?
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm so grateful. I'm holding here, and just picture a house like this camera. You know, I just want you to picture a house like this camera. To most people, it's an image. The only thing that they get that people really care for and pay for is an experience. When you transition from, customer to community, you don't sell image, you sell the experience, and you serve with the experience. And so we are a team, we are united. And my name is Mamie Brown's grandbaby boy. My grandmother had a 3rd grade education and started at the bottom, but she passed down her values to the kids that she adopted, and one of them was my dad. And that allows me to partner with powerful influencers like the 2 gentlemen on this phone call. So please give out your information, lesbrownjr.com, lesbrownjr.com. If you text the word time to 26786, 26786, the word time in your message box, you will get a free ebook with my dad and I, and we're actually going to be doing a book with some other people as well, so stay tuned for that. And Les Brown Jr. on Instagram, on YouTube, Les Brown Jr., on Facebook, Les Brown Jr., and and my team, they have thousands of followers, starting with Riyad. So Riyad, let them know how they can follow you on Instagram. If you want a consultant and learn how to use Instagram to boost your real estate business. Riyad, how many followers do you have online?
300,000.
Okay, and you mastered that the way that Mr. Woods mastered his real estate business and started measuring and studying every day and built it up from scratch. Is that correct?
Yes, correct. Yeah. In life, when you do something, you don't have between. You win or you be out from the game. Well, anything I do, I like to master. You know what I mean? And I remember when I did Instagram and I post every day, and people said, "Why are you posting every day?" I said, "I'm not posting for you. I'm posting for my kids. This is legacy for my kids. I'm posting every day. The mind, I never give up." Said, in Instagram, you can go under Riyadh Hamdi _. If you have any question, you can DM me on Instagram. Is RIADH HAMDI _. Yeah. And thank you so much.
You're absolutely. Thank you for being on. Mr.
Yep.
Woods, how do people find you?
Easiest way for me is just go to levanwood.com. That'll link to everything else, and that's LEVANWOOD, levanwood.com. That's the best way to get me. Anybody has any questions, wants to talk to me or anything ever, just shoot me a message through there, and I'll definitely get back to you and help you with whatever I can. And I also, too, want to thank you, Chris. Thank you, Les. Thank you, Riyadh. This has been amazing to speak with all three of you today.
Yeah, this has been a real honor and just a very special. Oh, you cut out there. All right. So anyway, thank you all for being on this. This has been an extra special edition.
All right, I just want to say it's so special.
Here we go. You there?
I'm sorry. I love my team. I just say you got to give it up for these guys. Please reach out, write us, email us, follow them across the social media platforms. See how we can collaborate in the future. You reach out. That's my email is lbj@lesbrownjr.com.
Awesome. Yeah, we had a little connectivity issues there, but if anyone needs to find anyone on this call, just go back and check out their sites, their Instagrams, their Facebook, and make sure all of you Rebel bankers begin your journey and take that leap, because if you don't leap, you're never going to be able to chase that dream. You're never going to be able to end up anywhere where these gentlemen are. So make sure you get started with your journey to being a Rebel banker and don't let money stand in your way. So to start, grab a copy of my book, The Private Money Guide, and check us out online at chrisnaugle.com. And also one extra thing, for anyone that watched this extra special podcast today, if you watch this, grab a copy of Les Brown Jr.'s ebook, but also grab a copy of my ebook, and I'm going to throw this in for free just to make this an extra special experience for all of you. So if you want to experience how money really works, I'm going to give you the copy of the Private Money Guide for free. And all you need to do is send me a private message at Chris_Naugle on Instagram, and I'll also send you a copy of the Private Money Guide for free just for watching this edition. So thank you all for joining on today's edition of the Real Estate Money School. This is extra special, so I'll catch all of you on the next episode. Thank you.